Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
Well, you've heard about love and giving sight to the blind. My baby loving cause the sun to shine and shooting my sweet little thing.
Little SRV bringing us back. Stevie Ray, the late great Stevie Ray. I still miss him. We still got his music, though. As long as I'm here, we're going to play it. I'm Jim Blasingame. Welcome back to the Small Business Advocate Show. We're rocking and rolling here with our good friend Ed Abel. AbelBusinessInstitute.com is the website. Roadmap to Success is the book. We're talking about how do you help you get comfortable inside your business's own skin as you make the transition from the age of the seller to the age of the customer, which is happening right now. And Ed, the reason why there's so much frustration and consternation and concern and twitchiness about all this is because we're literally operating our businesses in what I call parallel universes. You got a little bit of the age of the seller, still some vestiges still out there, and you got an increasing amount of age of the customer that's emerging in our lives. And in this transition, it really can be frustrating. And I say you got to have help. Let me tell you what we did for help. We brought on some interns from the local college. These kids did a lot of things to help us. They did a lot of the good stuff. Now they didn't apply our company to the new stuff over the last few years. They did it with our values. I didn't turn my company over to them. I said, this is what we stand for. How does that work with this? Now, we've done that over the last few years. What do you think, Ed?
As you were saying that, there's no one better than that generation to help us navigate the social media complexity.
Yeah.
So like you said, the map that we're playing with, or the theme is what you stand for, but yes. How does that integrate with the social media aspect?
They're not going to know your values. They frankly aren't going to care about your values until you expose them to it.
Yeah.
And so you've got to be the one in charge of that. But get some help. Also paid help. I mean, of course, we pay our interns anyway, but I'm talking about professionals. Hire a consultant, somebody like you, Ed, or hire a PR firm or a marketing firm. Hire someone. Spend a little money to help you make this transition, and that way you can kind of go back while you're learning this stuff. You can go back and do the things that keeps the lights on.
Jim, one of the things, let's just stop on and stay with some money for a minute. So most people are walking around as business owners unbudgeted, no budget really. But more than that is they have this a standard operating procedure of I can't afford it. And what they have to really start realizing is two things. One is you can't not afford it.
You got to budget.
You've got to figure it out.
You got to budget.
Right. But the other is that you will pay one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever get into those situations where, I don't have that extra $2,500,
mm-hmm.
but then a crisis occurs and you figure it out?
Somehow you find it, right?
You need to consider this a crisis. It's your social media crisis.
And when he says social media, folks, if that bugs some of you, because, see, I don't even like that term. You guys know that. Ed, you've heard me say this. I'm the social media heretic. I don't even like that term. But it is what it is. It is the term people are using. But social media is just another way of saying customers have new expectations, in my opinion.
And new ways of finding you.
Yeah. But they have new expectations. They expect you to plug in with them differently than they used to. And more people are migrating toward the age of the customer expectations. And that's the reason why maybe your own marketing approaches aren't working. Your salespeople aren't getting in as many doors. If that's happening to you, then you need to start doing what Ed's talking about.
So right on.
So last thoughts, Ed. I got about a minute.
Well, it's time to start shifting and making some of these adjustments because it's happening. And, many of us at this level where, thinking it's a fad that's going past.
Yeah.
And it's not a fad.
No, I said this 4 to 5 years ago, Ed. I said social media is a craze. but it's not a fad.
Mm.
Now, it's becoming less of a craze. And, I mean, remember how, websites are craze, right? Remember that?
Yes. Yes.
And now they're just a tool. I'm looking forward to the time, Ed, and it'll be over the next 5 years, when we won't talk about a social media strategy. We'll just talk about our marketing strategy, and social media will be part of it.
Part of it. You're right.
We'll just go to market. That's what I'm looking forward to when we all say that. Hey, Ed, thanks for being here. Good job today, as always.
Great being here.
AbelBusinessInstitute.com is the website. Roadmap to Success is the book. Ed Abel will be back another day with more good stuff. I'll be back after these messages. I'm Jim Blasingame, the small business advocate, reminding you that when opportunity knocks, it doesn't know you've had a bad day. Greet it with a smile.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved.